Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to set up TSM to sell transmogs that you've farmed. Now I'm going to show you how to set up the mailing operation, the auctioning operation, and also the vendor operation, all through TSM, which will basically help you sell and sort out the transmog pieces that you want to be selling from farming transmogs. So obviously, first of all, you're going to need to have TSM set up. So you want to head over to TSM, download both applications for TSM to have it running properly. So obviously TSM and the desktop application, you're going to need both of these to have TSM running. Once you've set it up, you also want to make sure you connect your realm. So you want to have the realm that you're actually going to be farming on connected to your TSM account on their website. This is very important to actually feature the data to know the right prices for the items that you're selling. So once you have TSM set up fully, it's pretty easy to do. Once you have it set up fully, then what we can do next is actually show you how to use TSM, how to make operations and your groups for selling and sorting out your transmog pieces. Okay, so now you have TSM set up and ready to go. It's time to show you how to use TSM to actually sell and sort out all your transmogs. So first of all, you want to open up your TSM add-on and you want to head over to operations. Now you want to make an auctioning operation to actually sell the transmogs. So for an example, we just have it called selling transmogs, and then what you want to do is to go into posting and you want to make it look just like this. So set for 48 hours if you want to do 48 hours, or you can do 24 hours if you would prefer to do it like that. With this method though, we're not doing any cancel scans, undercutting scans. We just post for 48 hours. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't sell, we just repost after the 48 hours. But you want to copy these right here. So the operations for the posting price, you want to have undercut set at 0 copper, means it will post at the exact same price, but whoever posts last will actually be the next one in line to sell. So you can actually undercut people by doing the same price. You don't have to do it like 1 copper less. It can be the exact same price. And if you post after them, yours will actually sell first and undercut the other listings. Then for the minimum price, you want to have this right here. So 50% of the DB market. Now what this will actually do, if the items are below 50% of the DB market, which means the market price on your realm, if they're under 50%, it will just post at 50%. So if there's ones that are listed for like 5% of the DB market, it won't even post for that cheap. It will just post at 50% of the DB market. Now this way, you're not going to be selling any items for way under their value. So if it's 50% or less of the value, it won't even sell for under that price. So you don't have to worry about having a valuable item, posting it up for say 5% of the actual market value. What this will do is basically be a safety net, and it will keep everything that you get selling at 50% of the DB market or higher. And then the normal price is 100%, and then the maximum price is 200%. So if no one else is posting them whatsoever, you have no competition, it will post it at the maximum price being 200% of the market value. Alright, so now you have the operation set up for actually selling the transmog pieces. You want to start working on a group. Now you can make a new group by just clicking right here on this plus. You just want to call it something like transmogs. And as you can see, we've got items here on the side that we've farmed and we've actually put into our group manually. So all these items on the left hand side are items that are in my bag that have not yet been added to the TSM groups. So what we can do here is we can actually select all, and as you can see, we'll put a tick on all of them. And this will put all the items we have selected into the group. And now every time that you farm transmogs at the end of the farming session, or when you've got to clean out your bags, you'll simply do this. You'll click on the group, you'll click on this part right here where it says ungrouped items, and you want to click select all, and then you simply want to put them all into the group. Now this is the main reason we're using TSM groups, so we can do a few more things with them. So if we go back over to operations, you can go under vendoring operations, and this says sell transmogs under 100 gold. So what you can do here is you can copy these options and settings right here, and then right here you can actually set it up to either keep or basically destroy and sell or vendor any transmogs under a certain price. So the price that we personally have this set to is 100 gold. Now you can change this to 500 gold if you want to keep only items under 500 gold. You want to keep items only over 500 gold. Now if you want to play around with the price, you can do 100 gold, you can do 500 gold, you can do 1k if you really just want to keep the more valuable items. And what this will do is help basically filter out any items that are worth, say like a couple gold, 20 gold, and this will automatically vendor them out when we use the vendor setting. So I really recommend setting this up. You can set it at any price that you want. I'm just personally starting off with 100 gold for this character while we're still building it up. Maybe in the future we'll bump it up to 500 or about 1k. Now I'll show you how it actually works. So we want to head over to groups. We obviously want to add all the new items that are in our inventory. So just by clicking select all and then add 24 to the group. Now with this operation, we obviously want it to be connected to the group that we have for transmogs. So as you can see right here, we simply just selected the group and it will select the group for us. So now this operation is connected to our transmog group. And now what you can do once that is set up, very, very cool, you can come over, use your vendor, and with this vendor or with any vendor, you simply click on this part right here and you want to open it with TSM. So just like this, and you want to head over to the tab which is called groups. You want to select the group for your transmogs, and then when you click sell groups, it'll actually sell all the items that are under 100 gold for you just by clicking one button. So as you can see, it's selling off all the junk items right now. So anything that is left over is going to be over 100 gold DB market value. So if we just look right here, 300, 600, there'll be no items that are under 100 gold that are left in my inventory. And this way you can just filter out the junk items a lot easier and a lot quicker. Right, so there's another big option that you can actually use with TSM. Now this is more if you have a bank gold, and your bank gold is basically going to be sent all the transmogs that you farm. So if you head over here to mailing, you can actually set up a mailing operation to automatically mail the transmogs to where you want it to go. So for an example, you select the target right here, which is your character name. So we've just got in our transmog alt, set this to no maximum quantity, and also you want to make sure that you have under group management your group selected. So our transmog group, I want to make sure that is selected. Now what this will do, any items that are inside of the group, and you add the items into the groups by going to groups and obviously clicking this part right here and adding them to the group. So now all the items in our inventory should be in that group. And when we come over to the mailbox, if you just click on groups, it says mail selected groups. And what this will do with just one click of a button, it will mail all the items that are inside the group straight to your banking alt. And then from your banking alt, you can post them up on the auction house. I'll show you that in a second. Or if you're not using a banking alt, instead of doing this, you just head to the auction house and post these up on the auction house. Alrighty, so we're on our transmog banking alt, and what we'll do is we'll collect them transmog pieces that we sent over. So we come to here, and it will be under other. We already had a few in our inventory, but what we'll do is we'll clear out these, we'll fill up our inventory, and I'll show you how to post them up on the auction house. It's super simple. And now what I like to do, in case any of the prices of the items have dropped the market value and it went under 100 gold, I always like to come over to the vendor before I post up my full inventory of transmogs, and then I come to groups and I just do another sell and just make sure there wasn't any that would drop below the 100 price, the 100 gold market value. So as you can see, we sold a few right there. And now what we want to do, head over to the auction house, and using the TSM group that we have set up, you want to go to auctioning and run post scan, and you want to have just your transmog group that you've made just before. You want to have just that selected, and as you can see, it's going to add all the items to the auction house. So as you can see, it's loading them all right here. And then you can simply just click your TSM macro, which I'll show you actually where to get that. You can just spam this. What I like to do is put it on a keybind, which is Alt mouse wheel up and mouse scroll wheel down. And what you can do is just hold in Alt and you can spam your mouse wheel up and down. And this is normally the quickest way to actually spam click and post these items up on the auction house. So we'll just let it load in and it will scan in all the items, and I'll just show you how the macro works. So simply we just hold in Alt and then we can scroll the mouse wheel up and down. If you can probably hear that, you scroll it up and down and it's automatically going to post the items for us. Now this is the best way to actually post items, because once you have a fair decent amount of items, it can get very tedious clicking post over and over again. This is why you want to use the TSM macro. And now if you set up the operation correctly, most of these should be undercutting competition, or if it's at too low of a price, it'll post it at the minimum price. Then if there's not any competition, it'll post at the maximum price, which is 200% of the DB market value. So basically 200% of what it's worth if there's no competition. And you just go through just like this, post all the items up, then once you're done, go grab more from the mailbox and just keep posting these up every 48 hours. Now, if you didn't know how to get the TSM posting macro, you want to head over to TSM, go to settings, come down to macros right here, select everything you want it to do, and then you click update existing macro or create macro. And what this will do is it will make a macro in your macro book thing, and it'll be right down the bottom called TSM. And you just put this onto your bars, this macro right here that is created for you, and then just like that, you have a TSM macro that you can click to post your items and do a whole heap of different things for you. And that is how you post items and sell transmog items with TSM, with the operations and settings that I recommend doing. Now, you got to remember that transmog is all a numbers game, so your goal should be to get about 1,000 transmogs before you actually start seeing consistent good sales. So you want to build up a big catalog of thousands of items, transmog items, have them all posted up in the auction house at the same time, and you will get consistent sales. It's all about the numbers game, so you got to make sure you've got a whole heap of them posted up on the auction house. Now, if you want to learn more about making gold in World of Warcraft with transmog farming and a whole heap of different methods and farms, you can find all of that inside of my gold making guide, and this will be the first link down below. Basically, it is a gold guide that gets updated all the time, and if you own a copy already, all future updates are completely for free, and the guide will be updated in future expansions for years and years to come. Basically a lifetime of free updates once you get the guide once, and that'll be linked down below in the description box if you want to check that out yourself. So the next one, guys, take care.